Let us begin! This is going to be our deep, forever long dive into the Expedition 33 trailer that is 2 minutes and 21 seconds. Let's see how quickly or slowly we can get through this. As a fair rating, this trailer is rated M for mature, so if you aren't 17, get away from this video. Go away! Close your eyes, close your ear holes, close your no holes, but at least breathe through your mouth, all right? Violence, blood, and gore, suggestive themes, strong language. Strong language like, that's strong. So it doesn't sound any worse than like Game of Thrones, so we're gonna be fine. All right, put in your bets of how long you think it will take us to get through this 2 minutes and 21 second video. Start the timer. Let's dive into this. I mean, the time has already started, but we're diving in now. It's quiet, too quiet. That was really quick. I don't hear anything. No one hears anything. None of us hear anything. I knew it. Oh, it's probably because I have this. Let me unmute this. Read their lips. That's the first challenge of this game. All right, no restarting timer. This is part of it. It's part of that caustic charm. We were just appreciating just the visual portion of it. Actually, it did feel very dramatic. I will say the art style seemed intense, even without the music. With the quick flashes of the screens and information, it was setting for a more serious style. So visual wise, I think that's important. Now let's add in the audio and see if it adds or takes away from the experience that they were creating. Hold on. I have to unmute it for you all too. I have it double muted. Also, I have to reconnect my own audio in my headphones. It was muted here, it was muted on OBS, and it was muted here. Okay, sound 3 ways. Approved. Now we're ready to hear this strong language. It was so strong, we just had to keep it all muted.
Rated M for mature.
There we go.
You should never have come. You're only going to make things worse for
Okay, when it first started like, you should have never have come, sounded like a monster. But then when it says you're always going to be the one who makes things worse, along those lines, now this sounds like the thoughts inside our brain that continue to tear us down. So I'm really interested in it. But this is also, for a voiceover, super gargly. Do you hear that? Like it's guttural, it's deep. Like I cannot hit that pitch. That's some real back of the throat speaking here. Also, stunning look. I wonder if this is one of the main characters we'll be playing as. Really important choice. Who we see first is probably who we're going to be most connected with. So this is important. The Field of Roses feels like it should be imagery for something. Like there's some sort of message with the choice of roses in the background. And I feel like they've gone through a lot of stress to have just a few of the gray white strands coming across at the top. Doesn't look physically that old on the face. I mean, obviously lots of cuts and scars, so we've been through hell. Tons of blood splatters everywhere, but none that look like his own. So I think we're graying because of the amount of trauma we've had to go through. That's what it is. Or this is an immediate bleach because yes, this character will be dyeing their hair blue. It's part of the phase. Trust the process, okay? Let's keep going.
You're only going to make things worse for everyone.
No. She chose to come. I didn't make the rules between you two.
Oh, okay. I'm interested. I like this. And that we get to dialogue back. Like this feels like there's a connection. All right. And there's an immediate retort. I like this immediate sense of conflict, right? Not that this challenge is arising, but we are kind of thrown into this moment of seeing a character in their strength with a line like that. And I think that's important. Like that's meant to allow the player know already you're coming into this particular game with power, with choice, with agency by introducing a line like that so early on in a trailer. That's important because you could have just not kept that line in. You could have started with that and just hinted at the challenges that are to come, and you'll have to discover the way in which you get to push back against it. But they immediately dive in. And I think that's important, right? Script writing and what you choose to edit in terms of messaging is important in a trailer. These are all about how do you set the standard of what people are looking for, how they will anticipate to engage in what they can do, and the tone that they're coming in for this game. And I love that. I think that's really important that we get to hear both of these voices very quickly and dive right into this. This feels like a boss battle already. We're not tiptoeing it around. Full deep dive into the end. Good thing they seem to know how to swim because I do not. This girl would be drowning. So I wonder if the she is this particular blonde who moves ethereal. Like, do you see the way? Watch this again. We're going to replay this. Watch how she walks and her hair just floats behind her like a literal angel. I love her already.
No. She chose to come. I didn't make the rules between you two.
All right, another breakdown, music. Oh, where those strings come in. That also adds to this dramatic kind of slight romantic but epic feel. Like it's not a fight, it is distinctly in the epic music soundtrack era. And I think that's important too. That also tells me what kind of game they're trying to go for in terms of feel. The games we've been seeing coming out here in 2025, the music has been on another level. I am so excited because we are getting so many amazing soundtracks. This one, I think already with this initial one, makes a great first impression. Suit and tie to the nines. This is how we do audio for a trailer.
I didn't make the rules between you two.
Let me hear that again. I wonder if I would do it a beat later.
You're only going to make things worse for everyone.
No, that's perfect.
No.
All right. This is our first glimpse at 33. Long blonde hair. Sephiroth, move aside. All right. We've got a new white-haired baddie in front of us. I don't know who they are, but sorry, Final Fantasy. You have now been dethroned. And also this kind of eclipse, this sun, this whatever it is, phenomenal. Looking at this 33, this is iconic. I will say the art style feels very different to see of it here. Like in the characters that we're seeing, a little bit different, but I'm excited. In terms of music, we are on the cusp of a golden age in video game scores, just like how cinema is now in, I mean, it was, and it's appreciated music. It's time video games got to that same level. And we've had hints of that before. Like Halo 2 did a really great job too, both with its orchestral aspects and also working with Breaking Benjamin. There's been others, Tony Hawk, right? Some of those had really great selections in terms of their soundtracking choices, but this also meets that level too. I'm excited. They found the artist via SoundCloud. Hello. I guess everyone start bringing back out your SoundCloud and sharing that sucker out. 20 seconds in.
You're fighting to change things.
For those who come after. Right?
Oh, pause here. Look at this visual. I love this. So far what we've seen, pretty interesting. This though, this is art. I love this. Very expressive. There's scarring here. This was a character we saw earlier with the blonde character that was passing. Very fascinating, right? But the lines, this is important. Like, you can't just add lines to a face. You have to really study someone's face, like, and what those lines mean. Certain lines appear based on the life that you've lived, how you've used your face, what you've gone through. I mean, even the lines that are on the ear is important. The curls and the hair of the beard. And I like that this beard kind of fades in, right? Like, we are at a point where hair can't just be bad. We have the capability of doing something that is phenomenal. And so you have to pull that out a little bit more. I will say it looks a little dark and splotchy here, but I think it could work. This also feels incredibly more like a bristly brush compared to like some of the fluidness that we see elsewhere. But I'm not mad about that. I think that still works. Like, it's not just the wear and tear of faces and smiles and stress that we see on the forehead or the crow's feet or across like the nose. It also is like just sun, being in the sun, then age, right? I am intrigued. This was a sad moment. Also, I like the lines here, right? We're doing it not for ourselves, but it's for our future, right? We're fighting to change things for those who come after. And I think that's an important lesson. And personally for me, I really like that kind of message. I don't have children. But when I think about why I invest in this world, it's not because I'm going to live forever, right? I care, I invest, I advocate for change. I give to causes I care about because I want things to be better for those who come after me. And so I will say personally, a line like that is really important. Okay, let's be clear. You all are not my children, okay? We are a community. This is different. This is different. So is everyone just baby birds now? Yes. Yes, this is our nesting community, and I vomit up content that you all can devour. Blah. I am the Pied Piper. Okay, these are very different stories now. Also, we get the rose petals here. It's definitely a clear sign of the lost love. Absolutely a sense of lost love. I will say, I don't know if I like the rose petals as big as they are, and they do look a little large for rose petals and a little stiff. I want them to be a little softer is what I would do for rose petals floating. It feels more like thick paper, but I like the idea and I like the color, what they're going for there.
Right?
I thought I was used to losing people.
Oh, that line. That line. Oh, thought I was used to losing people? Part of me wants a little bit more space between some of these lines because they're hitting hard here, but they're doing one right after another. And I have to pause because these are really good. This is a really good line. Thought I was used to losing people? Oh, honey, no. I want more from this. I'm excited. I want to pause. Also, not as much gray hair at this point. Notice this? This character, this seems to be the one that we will be following through and they're going to age. 2 messages so far. Thought I was used to losing people. Things go to shit when you show up. It's fascinating.
Thought I was used to losing people.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. I want a little bit more space with this one. I'm being picky. It feels like the next text is cutting over. And I understand why we do it. Like as an editing idea, it's actually very smart. So that way the transitions feel smoother, that you start with one media aspect of it overlapping in the other. So in this case, they bring the audio earlier while we're still watching this video to help us transition over. But I love this picture so much that it feels like we're being ripped away from it as we're moving across. I want us to stay here a hot second longer. There's some reason why they're maybe changing this up because the black and white character, ponytail girl, right? They're all supportive. This is actually the main character it seems like we're following. At least in this trailer, that seems like the direction they're pushing us into. So maybe that's why we're getting shorter clips of them because we're trying to keep the focus here on Buddy here with the cool hair, with the cool hair. Okay, let's keep going then. Hello. Can I also call out, I think it's very interesting, and I don't know the reason why yet, that we keep switching from color to black and white. It doesn't seem to be chronologically motivated. You know, sometimes we do like flashbacks in black and white, but I don't think that's the case here. I don't think that's the reason why we're doing that. And so I'm trying to figure out what the reason of that is. Is it past? I can't figure that out. I will say for this character, love this. I love this that before we got this really great side profile view of the character, right? Blonde hair flowing, not touching the back, walks like an angel, or like, you know, one of Vampire's brides from Dracula, how she just floats and never like really seems to touch the ground. That kind of gave this vibe, but the appearance over the shoulder really gives this reveal a particular tone that is fascinating, but also makes her feel very dangerous. Like we're purposely putting someone in between her and us. Like we're afraid and we're like a small child looking over the shoulder of someone else because we're too afraid to be up in front here. I think that's fascinating. Also, this mask, so cool. I'm getting a little Phantom of the Opera vibes, but I love that they didn't go like the traditional side. Like we see a little bit over here, like if we're looking at left side of their face, some disfigurement here. And then we've got the mask that covers what probably is the rest of it. I think this is an interesting choice to go across the bottom like that and still be able to share the eyes. Now, the hair is covering one. And so I think that's also very interesting to continue to obscure the face of this character, but we at least do get one eye. So I'm interested. Let's keep going. What? what? Okay. All right. We're going to have to play back because we can't just hop into that with nothing. Like suddenly we're now following other characters, not the guy who I thought we were following. So we're getting mixed. Love the ponytail vibe. And then we're just moving. Now we're into the gameplay itself. Cutscenes over. Here we are. I'm intrigued. Like it's a mystery fantasy. All right. We're going to let this flow. Okay. This music, it is pulling us into another world. Like, okay, absolutely epic feel. We are into this epic feel. We are into an epic story. Greeks, move over. This is how we do epics. Okay, now we're into the real gameplay. Loving the ponytail movements, multiple character choices, it seems like. I'm fascinated. I love that we've kind of gone through this drama and now we're lifting up, right? We're getting the sense that it's difficult, it's challenging. If you look down below, it does seem to showcase our 3 characters that we will be able to play, which I think is important. That seems helpful. And we've got a lot of different worlds that we're diving into here. All right. First of all, love this. Okay. I will say, well, the waist looks like I'm about ready to snap in half here. Little super tiny there. I love this kind of movement, like feels very shot put style from the Olympics. So the movement itself is great. Her hair looks fantastic as we brace ourselves to launch across this ledge. Love the gymnastic flip in there. Honestly, gives us good dance. Look at these beans. Like bad back posture hurts already. Terrified. Are they just part of the environment? If so, what happened? Why did they make an environment like that? Or are these monsters that we need to be afraid of? Are they harbingers, right, of something worse to come? Lepers of sorts, devoured by some sort of wood disease. I'm not sure. I'm very excited and perplexed by this initial scene. This alone, interesting. Color balance, typical. Nothing amazing, but this particular look and the movement, fantastic. Okay, this is amazing. A cave of sorts with a cosmic ceiling. I don't know. I'm fascinated. Also, this individual here is giving me Loki silhouette vibes, which I'm interested in. I could definitely see this as a star ocean. It's vast. It is shades of blue with light filtering in from the top. It is fascinating. Maybe it is water above us. Honestly, I like that I can't tell from here. This cave of crystal. I want to go here so I can figure out, what is this place? I want to explore it. And I think that's important that a trailer launches us into that kind of mentality. Ferris wheel here at the side. I like that there's certain things here that feel familiar, which makes it look like a reality torn asunder or a mixing of worlds that have collided. I can't tell. We're on this cliffside running, but we see apartment buildings on the left, this Ferris wheel ahead of us, lamps, and then the actual lamps themselves. In the far distance, I'm not sure if you can tell, looks like a merry-go-round. The choice of creating this, especially with so many shades of brown, good lighting texture here, by the way. I really like the lighting technique used at this to kind of reflect off the ground and make those rocks look wet or dry or sharp. It adds to the texture of what we're creating here. I like that as well. But it feels like we're in the midst of chaos, but also despair because of the color tones. Like it's not chaos and high energy. It's things are slowly falling apart kind of take. The beast outline in the back. This is a beast? Is that what I look like? Hold on. No. Hold on. What is this outline of the beast where it's like, is that how it runs too? He's coming to greet you. Or is it more like this, or is it like, Tell me how a beast like that moves to you. This is Monster 101, okay? You can't just create a silhouette of a monster or like its creation of its visual. You got to think about how it interacts in this world. All right, is it right, left, or is it launching itself forward, hunchback? Is its head here or here? Like, I can't tell in the silhouette. I'm very excited about this. Also, triangle body. So really worked hard on that upper body core. Them butt cheeks, them legs, nothing. It can't hold in a fart. That angle goes down like that. Its butt cheek is at the small part of it. There's no holding back. It can't close around its asshole. I'm sorry. That thing's farting, you're gonna know. It can't close it. It could be friend-shaped. There's nothing about this that initially screams monster, right? It is just a larger creature in the back. Maybe we hop on the back of it and it gives us a ride so we don't have to walk across this treacherous cliff. Could be friend. Okay, love this. I'm very interested in this spinning top, not spinning thing that we're on, and this, I don't know, fae-like creature in the middle here that I'm fascinated by. Come for a review, get bonus creature anatomy lesson. But this is important because when you also think about the way it moves, that also changes the sounds you think it makes. Like when it's moving, and if it moves like that, you think about like if you're a voice actor for it, or you're the sound technician for it, if you don't actually just get voice actors for it, you think about like how the lungs get compressed differently in its movement of how it might sound when it runs. You don't want everything running to sound like a duck on concrete. You gotta break down like the way it moves, how it carries itself, how that might change. And if its body gets smaller, its diaphragm may be smaller as well, and it may not be able to produce as large of a sound. It could be that it makes ducky sounds. Can you imagine that? This one, though, I'm interested in. Also very magical, has a bow tie, a bow in the back, which is very lovely. A very pretty bow. Poofy sleeves, like poof, poof, right? On either side, fancy. So there's some fashion. This character has some general awareness. So I don't want to call this a beast, because clearly, right, there's decision making, there's a self-awareness, there's a desire of how we present ourselves and to be seen and looked for like at a certain way. It could be a variety of inspirations in the fashion. I'm not sure, but I like it a lot, to be honest. And yes, grass hair, seaweed hair perhaps, but I'm liking this color choice. All right, this I'm not excited about. This death shroud over it and then massive tree with blood. Like, this is what tells me that perhaps when you buried your loved ones under a tree, and if the tree were cursed and the two combined, this is what happens. Also, very, very graveyard keeper feel here. So we are carrying the lantern. Very summon the dead sort of situation. But yes, right? That is a very specific situation. It looks like a tree, a cursed tree, devoured a corpse. And that is what we get here. Very boss fight. Looks like you get all three players here, which is very interesting. So I imagine this is turn-based then. Unless you, like in Dragon Age, when you've got your party, you automatically default to what their roles and types of action gameplay could be. I do like this background though, right? We've had these beautiful pink flowers along the ground, and then we've got these tall, looming blue trees, waterfalls in the background. And still, even the water's here, we still get a sense of stars or maybe fireflies. Very fascinated. Okay, very fascinating. Hit! I do like the slow-mo moves. I hope with some of those they do keep that pacing in game, because I love that. I love it. I like that when in game, you feel like you're part of the cinema. Gustav performs a counter, so there's timing in here perhaps. I like this, but also, yeah, this monster is on teeny tiny tiptoes. Ballerinas are cringing at this. All right, this is hard footwork, and to fight in this, that's hard. Very difficult to balance. I think, honestly, toppling this kind of creature would be my first go-to move. That would be easy to take out. I don't have to murder it. I just have to swipe it off at his tiny little tip-top toes. That's it. What is... Okay, super bony. Lots of shrouds still. Lots of moving things. Flowy things are interesting and sometimes difficult to make fluid, but this looks really fluid. Oh, they're called the Lamp Master. Hold on. Did the other one have a boss meter? No. No boss meter on this one. But this one, Lamp Master up at the top. Interesting. Multiple hands, though. I think they're getting a little handsy. No, they're not. We're fighting, obviously. Ooh. What is this creature? Also, love to see huge amounts of damage. This is fulfilling as a gamer, right? Where it's not enough that we get to roll like, yeah, it does 4 points of damage and it's okay because the beast only has 9 health. It's just fun to see big numbers on screen, okay? Math can be difficult as long as it just looks fascinating for our pretty little brains to light up here. So I'm happy with that.
Void, take everything.
Ooh, very cool. All right, multiple encounters here, it looks like. And we're fighting the chromatic Minnesur. Oh, I'm going to have to work on my French. Good thing some of you all speak French. Tight booty shot. Is that what we're looking at here? Okay, fascinating. When I stop dyeing my hair, I feel like this is a cosplay option here. I don't know who she is yet, but I have done a similar look before, and I'm like, I would like to do this. Already intrigued. Not played the game, but I want to cosplay.
Is this true?
Miles with him.
We need to go now.
Oh, this is interesting to me. Some of this other part now in the story, I'm not quite sure where we're coming from that. It'll be really fascinating getting into this game of how well they establish world building, like the clear hierarchy, the worlds, how we see ourselves within it, what are considered normal or typical actions, right? There's a lot of creating opportunities here, which is hard to do in a shorter game. You have to be very concise and provide clues in a variety of ways. Like you can't just rely on a script and character interactions to provide that. You're going to have to think about like, how do we create visuals? How do we create encounters or side quests to allow people to learn and understand as they go along? What's important of it for the players to know so that way they can get into the story and feel attached to the motivation of the individuals that they're following. I don't know the cause yet in this trailer.
Who are you?
Oh, this. Getting to ask, who are you? This is fascinating. This is a story I want to know. Who is this person? How did they lose their face? This is cool. This is really fucking cool. Oh, I shouldn't curse. I have so many questions. This kind of imagery alone, I want to dive into the game because I want to know what happened to their face. It's not enough like other elements are deteriorating, but it's that particular piece is missing as a whole. Like that is a chunk. That's fascinating. And the ethereal sword, like, hello, giving strong Excalibur feels here. I'm excited. I'm excited about this. Happy times. Okay, that felt very French. I like this comparison of here they are in happy France. Like this feels very with the red neck, the striped shirt, the black suspenders, this very beautifully tailored suit. I love. And then we get the contrast of here versus when they're in this combat area. Oh, yes. Yes, this character intrigues me. Tired characters, worn characters. I am interested. I also love the coat over the shoulders look. Ooh. Sirene? Interesting. I love this giant like robot. Painted face, wearing clothes, is without the green hair from above. I wonder if this is similar to the being we saw earlier. I think it is. Serene seduces Mael. Interesting. Trying to pick up clues here. Maybe we get to seduce a giant. No, because the giant robot is Serene, according to the health bar. So this robot is seducing us. Interesting. Oh, see, in game now we go into black and white. In game, in the middle of combat, we go into black and white. This is fascinating. I cannot wait. I'm interested. I want to know the motivation. What causes this? Yes, tell me more. Mael performs a Grady encounter. So we are playing Mael. So we are being seduced by this French robot. I feel like to prepare for this game, I need to have a basic understanding of certain French words and French pronunciations. Or at least a few French curse words. Oh. Masks as shields. Interesting. The chromatic bouche clear. I don't know how to say that in French. Bouche. This is like a specific French thing that you do, right? How the O-U-C-H-E is pronounced. Bouche. I don't know. Somebody who speaks French. I love this. We've got pieces of the mask itself as a shield. This would be a terrifying shield to have. And that is a cool sword. Not a fan that our opponent has that though.
I know it seems absurd to offer oblivion as recompense, but
Ooh. No. Don't bring this visual up yet. No. Just, you've got an important line going on. Hold on. Okay. I think here's where we get into the interesting space here. We come back to this. Area. The masks, visages. This is fascinating. And then it does seem like we're getting a fair treatment of all the characters, getting a little bit of scene here.
I know it seems absurd to offer oblivion as recompense, but
She'll never paint again.
Okay. Whoa. I like both of those lines. I don't think they belong together. And this part is coming up way too early because I like the lines. I'm excited. I love this line. I know it seems absurd to offer oblivion as recompense, but we hear that in that deeper voice, that tired voice. I love that line. In fact, I think you could just end at that line. Don't get me wrong. I also like the other ending line.
She'll never paint again.
She'll never paint again. That is also a really great line, but the two of them don't sound like they go together. They're both really strong. They're too strong. They're one or the other. You get one or the other. That's my take. I think you have one trailer where you end with one line and another trailer where you do that, where we're focused on the paintress. That would be really fascinating, unless the whole thing is that we don't know who the paintress is. But I love that line. I'm intrigued by it, but they are the big bad, but I wonder if they're trying to keep it secret, like obscure, right? Like Clair Obscur, we're hiding this, who they are. I'm intrigued. I like the lines, but tell me, does it sound like two people saying it? Two different lines? I love her facial expression here, by the way. This is so good. Horrified.
I know it seems absurd to offer oblivion as recompense, but
She'll never paint again.
I love this music. I love the lines. I want them separate because those are really, really good lines. They do sound like different voices, so they don't combine at all. It's intriguing. Both of them are intriguing though. They're both so powerful. I think they're so strong that they can stand alone. They don't flow. It confuses me, but I love them. They're damn good lines. They're so good. They're so good. They need to be separated. I will say this. I'm intrigued by Expedition 33. I think it looks very promising. I cannot wait. I know that I cannot wait to dive into the story of it. The words, the writing, so good. So freaking good. Those lines have me wanting to know more. Some of the creatures in here, fascinating to me. I need to know if I'm right about this creature, of anything above all, but also the one that lost its face, the doll robot creature that seduces us, right? I want to see these slow move kind of big attacks that we get to pull in. I'm very excited about Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I'm all in on this. Can't wait. I'm going to have to play this. I just don't know when. Add it to my list, okay? That's our review. Pretty good. I think we made good timing.